This time, Canary and myself will be talking about anxiety. Do we even know what anxiety is?
My interview with the president, I did not sleep for 2 days.
Okay.
Do you know what that means? Sleeping for 1 day is already too bad. Not sleeping for 1 day is
Yeah.
already too bad. I did not sleep for 2 days.
Say, I'll give news as an example. From the beginning of the bulletin, if something is just off, my anxiety will just shoot through the roof. And that's it for the whole. I'll think about it even when I've finished the news. I'll think about it. Even tomorrow, I will be thinking about it.
Anxiety distorts your ability to function there and in the moment
Yeah.
because your mind is like has been airlifted away from your body.
So how do you deal with it? What are those 3-4 things that you could say I would do this? It may not be permanent, but it will give me some relief in the moment.
First, distraction. Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Can go maybe downstairs, put on a movie and try to watch.
We are back. We are back here, sharing, talking, and healing. This time, Canary and myself will be talking about anxiety. Do we even know what anxiety is? Some of us live through anxiety every day and we feel like it's okay. But the sad news to this is eventually it will not be okay. Canary,
Yeah.
any experiences on anxiety?
First of all, anxiety is a disorder.
Do they know that it's a disorder? That's what I'm saying. Some people just live with it throughout. They just
Yeah.
keep.
Anxiety is a disorder. I am how for me I tell my anxiety. This is through my own experience. So my watch is able to detect when my heartbeat goes up.
And this.
Like any other smartwatch, this is not a.
So my mother in Kabari, how is she supposed to tell that?
I said this is my lived experience. You will tell us about your mother, maybe when you choose to share. But so my watch is able to tell. You know, your heart is beating faster. You need to check your surrounding if you're okay. It's just like a health alert. And then sometimes I'm not even sure what is going on in that moment until my watch vibrates and says, check your surrounding, I hope you're okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'm feeling anxious right now. Why? Because maybe anticipation of something is going to happen,
Yeah.
or supposed to perform a task, it's not coming out through well, or anything. Sometimes I even get stage fright. Comes,
Oh, you do?
yeah, like I'm going to
You
step
do
on
because
stage.
the way we look at Canary, you're
Ah.
superstar.
There are some stages where you're going to step on, and I remember, and I don't know, I've shared this in different spaces, but my interview with the president, I did not sleep for 2 days.
Okay.
Do you know what that means? Sleeping for 1 day is already too bad. Not sleeping for 1 day is
Yeah.
already too bad. I did not sleep for 2 days. If I would sleep, I would sleep for 1 hour. This is days before the interview. I would sleep for 1 hour, and in the sleep, I would dream about the person I'm going to interview. I don't know what that is, but I think that was extreme anxiety.
Anxiety, definitely.
So by the time I went for the interview, I had sleep debt for 2 days.
On top of being anxious.
On top of being
because
anxious.
I'm thinking when you got there, it was worse now.
It was worse because I was taken off the chair not to interview the president.
Like, could they read through your anxiety?
No. I was okay by the time I got there. I think I was ready. But security just came to me and said, please get off your seat. I don't think you're going to do this interview. Your producer who you came with is going to do the interview. I'm like, but how? I think you're mistaken. Then we went to like a whole 1-2 hours of zigzag. Anyway, I later did it. But for me, not sleeping for 2 days because I'm anxious, that was too bad.
Yeah.
Right? My other experience is my stomach rumbles. Even on the smallest
Bit of
moments,
anxiety.
bits of anxiety that it rumbles, and I'll have to excuse myself at all times when I'm feeling so anxious. So that's how bad it gets. But for me, most times it comes when I'm supposed to be achieving a task and I'm still behind schedule, and I see deadline is fast approaching. Or sometimes even talking to someone about something, like where do I begin, where do I start? Sometimes keep postponing until thinking I'll get to the right moment when I'm able to speak openly about something. Yeah. What is your own lived
I
experience?
remember, Canary, one of the podcasts where I was telling you, I see you have so many tasks, but it's easy for you. Okay, it looks easy for you. So now hearing you say you have your anxiety moments or attacks, or I guess we are all human. And I guess that tells us that we are all human. I think my anxiety is permanent, right? Though I'm working on it. Why it's permanent, it's again something we talked about in one of our podcasts where I was saying my strength and weakness, I keep talking about this, is being a perfectionist. I want everything to be as I planned. I want to plan out my day and I want the day to go exactly as I planned. But I'm not God. So it cannot go exactly as I planned all the time, right? And for me, something not happening will just, like, I will be anxious throughout, right? Say, I'll give news as an example. From the beginning of the bulletin, if something is just off, my anxiety will just shoot through the roof, and that's it for the whole. I'll think about it even when I've finished the news. I'll think about it even tomorrow. I will be thinking about it because I'm like, why didn't it go right, or why didn't I get it right? And that always keeps me in that mode of business. If I've set targets for business and maybe clients are not coming in and I feel like I've done my best, I feel like I'm reaching out to people, but I'm slowly learning to let go. We've talked about this, and let go, and also just live in the moment. Oh yeah, today we didn't make sales, but
Yeah.
there are people who haven't made sales for a month, right?
Yeah.
So
Do you sometimes approach certain situations with fear? Because that's also part of the anxiety disorder. You're going to approach something, but you approach it with fear, like, oh my God, I hope not. I hope not. But
Yeah.
there's like so much fear in your mind, and it vibrates through your body. Can even be seen through your eyes.
yeah, you know that thing they say that men don't like it when women say we need to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing gives me anxiety. That thing gives me anxiety, and not just in relationships.
It's generally.
Like you and I like work together.
Yes.
When you say we need to talk about what, I always let the women in my life know when you say we need to talk, please
Follow
add
it
the
up.
message. We need to this and we'll talk. Can
But
you add
about-
something else?
yeah.
We need to talk about what? Hey,
So
I think that gives all men
anxiety. But I guess it's two-way, Canary. Even you, if you told me we need to talk, I'm starting to think, okay, remember when you send me those messages, I'm like, is it bad? Is
Yeah.
it good? Because already my head is going
Yeah.
to all places.
like prepare me. Allow me land on the topic
but
gently.
you know, I could lie to you just so you calm down.
At least do lie if you can. Because approaching a meeting with a lot of fear and dread,
Yeah, but that's also wrong.
Yeah.
That's also wrong, especially for
fact-
people you care about.
in fact, you'll have spoiled my entire day.
Day.
If I'm going to see you in the evening for tea, maybe after work, you'll have spoiled my entire day by saying we need to talk, and you send this message at 8 in the morning.
Because there you're thinking, okay,
What did I do? Then there's this
I-
thing of if you knew you did not do anything wrong, why do you have a...
Yes,
That does not apply here.
I think it's just natural.
Yeah.
But also the way women have these conversations. Like even when you know you didn't do anything wrong, you're like, maybe I did. Now I have to defend myself that I actually didn't do anything wrong, and that creates anxiety. But I guess some people do not know that they are dealing or living with anxiety. My way, which is really hard, I'm still struggling, is to, someone told me about meditating. That one I failed. The moment I sit down and try to meditate, someone told me play those calming songs on YouTube, the water, the rain.
I've seen people go to sleep by playing those things, but me, they also don't work.
I'll start thinking, what was I supposed to do that I didn't do today?
Let me tell you how bad my anxiety is. It's so bad that I already have, I wouldn't say a problem, but my heart beats differently. It beats faster than every, I think, normal heart.
So this smartwatch, do you sleep with it so it also monitors?
No, 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 no. So for my peace, for my peace, I try to make sure that I do not sleep with it, because sometimes I even get anxiety when I'm going to sleep. Because I'm
Why
thinking
is that
about the
when you
morning.
have something to
Yeah.
do the following morning?
Yeah, I'm thinking about something in the morning or something that did not go right in the day. I've just read a message. Like, we need to talk and I have to go to this meeting in the morning. So I get anxiety when I'm going to sleep. So it's so bad that I get heart palpitations. So when I try to sleep, I can hear my heart beat. Like, it's all calm, you're in bed, the lights are off, but you can hear your heart beat. You can hear the pace at which it is beating. Not feel,
Wow.
but hear in your ears. That's how bad it gets.
Wow.
So sometimes you just have to keep your eyes closed and until it comes down. This can take 3-4 hours.
So how do you deal with it? What are those 3-4 things that you could say, I would do this? It may not be permanent, but it will give me some relief in the moment.
First, distraction. Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Can go maybe downstairs, put on a movie and try to watch, or be distracted by the kids, try to play around and whatnot. Be distracted by something. But sometimes you're with this kid and you
Your
feel
mind
like you're
is-
not in the moment.
You're not present.
You're not present in the moment. Okay, fine, you're trying to play with the kid, but you're not in the moment. And unfortunately, that energy can be seen and realized by such a young toddler. That's because anxiety distorts your ability to function there and in the moment,
Yeah.
because your mind is like has been airlifted away from your body. But sometimes I try distraction, but this is
That's temporary.
that's temporary.
yeah.
Long term, I don't think I have dealt with anxiety long term, which is something I also need, perhaps, like we said in a earlier podcast, that to be able to understand the subject and deal with it, you need to study it. So I don't think I've delved deep into studying anxiety, because I think the temporary things sometimes work and sometimes they don't.
They don't work.
And
yeah.
I've become comfortable with that. Yeah.
And looking at anxiety at work, because you'll always have deadlines. There are always KPIs, there are always deadlines, there are always reports to submit. They are always saying, Canary, the CEO needs to see you, the supervisor needs to talk to you. And those are moments where you can't ask the CEO, please send me a message of what we are going to talk about. So in our busy life at work, the corporate environment, how do we deal with anxiety? Sometimes we are blessed at work that we have the rooftop where you can just walk up and just sit with a view of the city and
Yeah.
just calm down, or sit up with someone.
We
and just
also have
a conver-
meditation rooms at office.
but some offices do not have this, and yet the pressures are a lot to deliver.
I think talk to someone. You see, like the way you randomly call me and start telling me about something, they say, what is Sheila talking about now? but because I think we get to talk a lot, so I get to say, okay, maybe she's trying to maybe like get a second opinion on something. Yeah, just talk to someone. First one, by talking, you're releasing.
Yes.
You're releasing. I remember the part when I told you I first excused myself and go to the washroom. I'm releasing, and it's like body toxins that create
Yeah.
fear and anxiety. Oof, it makes me feel better. So by talking, you're releasing, and you get to feel better. So like workspaces, just get to talk to someone you trust and say, oh, by the way, there's this and that. They might not necessarily give you an answer to exactly what you're looking for, but you've released.
Yeah.
I think that's like the best way to deal with anxiety in the moment. Might even tell you, no, it's not even a big deal. No. Actually, it was not even your making. It was not even your fault. The meeting is about this, but it was not even your fault.
Yeah.
For you, in your mind, you're thinking, I'm going to be crucified because this and this happened. Something went wrong. Yeah.
I think for me, I was just sharing that walking really helps me. I did a long walk, and by the end of the walk, I felt better. I felt lighter. So it's finding those things, but also identifying your problem and reading about it and talking to people about it. And everyone has their way of doing their things, but if people give you 5 options, you pick and see which one works for you. Some say the gym for those that can afford it. Some say I just get into the water and swim. In the moment of office where you can't leave and go and swim, maybe go to the meditation room or just go to your car. And I remember Dr. Juliet Naku, the ED Butabika, was telling us at the picnic that just sit in your chair and let your shoulders down and let your body release your body weight on your chair. Like, let go of your body on the chair and just breathe in and out 6 times. So in an office space where maybe you're saying, I can't move out, I can't go to the gym, that can also help. So it's finding things that work for you to be able to release your anxiety in the moment, because if you hold on to that anxiety, you could maybe have an outburst, or the reaction to something could be overrated. You could have just phone something to just calm you down and then make the right decision.
I've seen people who use antidepressants.
Isn't that at the higher end or the extreme?
Of course, it should be prescribed by the doctor or medical personnel, but that's also after diagnosis. For example, you can't just walk into a clinic and say, I want antidepressants. So sometimes just seek medical help.
Yeah, there's that too.
Just seek medical help.
But
the breathing helps.
Yeah, the breathing helps. Until now, people did not want to go and be sharing their problems. Yeah, but now there are options. You can share and get the attention that you need and the help that you need. Yeah.
So what the antidepressants do is they help with your chemical reactions in the brain, and they help reduce the stress. But that again should be prescribed by a medical doctor.
Because some people could get addicted to them.
Yeah.
So,
But what we rarely talk about though is anxiety in children. And this can affect the way they function, talk, and even be able to exercise their brain. We need to be able to tell anxiety in our kids. I've seen kids who just get anxiety and feel like they're shaking and they just can't do anything. They're stuck and they freeze. And that can go on until when they become adults. We need to be able to tell the kid, just calm down. Practice breathing right from childhood. You breathe in and out 6 times. Do you feel better? Okay. Do you want to walk around with me? Those are small things that you feel might be small, but can actually make a very, very big difference.
I don't think our African parents would understand that, but
but we are now better. We are now.
But we are better. Yes, we are more exposed. We are more open
we're more informed.
To things being different.
Yeah.
I'm sure then if I told my parents about anxiety, I don't know. It's a doctor who would have to convince them.
No, you know where you are, Tobo.
Right. So, but now we've learned to do better, to be better, to listen more. My 3-year-old, every time you tell him something, he'll ask you why. We never asked why as children. If I said do this,
that's
you do it.
Order.
But now we are better parents, I guess.
Yeah.
So to listen and pay attention to these children, and also be able to detect some of these things and not just brush them off. So
anxiety has been proven to also contribute to the decrease in quality of life. We're here, you only live once. Why are you living such a very unhappy life?
And I think you can see that online.
Yeah,
right?
If you have online are angry. If you have ability to seek for professional help, like therapy, why don't you pay for it? Why are you okay paying your cousins' children's school fees first before you seek for your own help?
And you too.
I think that we should be able to prioritize ourselves. Like I talked about in an earlier podcast, that no one ever said being selfish is bad.
I live for that, by the way.
Yeah. Me, it was actually our colleague who told me, I'd say, no, I would be selfish by Samson Kasum said, hey, who said being selfish is bad? You be selfish. But then the Bible teaches otherwise.
No, I know, but Canary,
you can be selfish to you.
To you, yes.
And you can also be selfless to others.
Yeah, but when you look at it this way, that you wake up every morning, speaking for you, you have like 6-7 gigs on top
Yeah.
of having more work to do, and then you're giving of other people school fees, someone needs transport, someone, there's a fund for something that you need to take care of, there's this. Why shouldn't you pay for a therapist if you need one? Because for you to be able to do all those 6 gigs and do your work and be and give of yourself, you need to be okay physically, mentally.
Yeah.
So you need to do you first before you can then give of yourself to others.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, how do you deal with anxiety? Let us know in the comment section. And let us know what subjects you want us to talk about. I feel that every time we hear from you, we're able to improve the podcast to fit exactly what your needs are and to tackle some of the subjects that are rarely talked about. Sheila and I are always happy to share about some of our own lived experiences. And sometimes on the podcast, we bring experts and other people to share about these subjects. So let us know what you think and feel about anxiety and how do you deal with it.
And please subscribe.
Yeah. Peace out. Till next time.